starting the podcast right here? Is this the intro? Are people hearing this right now?
If you're listening, welcome to the making of the SpaceBar podcast, behind the scenes, where you get to see all the ins and outs of what we're doing and what you don't have to see on a normal day-to-day basis. Behind the scenes is going to be a whole nother series where you get to see the true us, unedited versions, raw, uncut.
I'll give you something raw and uncut.
Hey. True facts, circumcised gang.
I don't know why I cringed at that.
I don't know why you did either,
wow!
but it
Don't
was
you
funny.
fucking body shame me, Drew?
I'll body shame you as much as I want to. No, I think your dick is
smegma.
Impeccable. It's a pretty nice dick. Never seen it, but
Hashtag cut crew.
I can imagine it. Yeah, cut crew.
Cut crew.
That's Rip Killer.
True.
Wouldn't be
Facts.
me.
I need to work on looking at the camera more. I was watching myself, and even in the TikToks, I can see myself looking at the screen that y'all are
I don't think
on.
anybody cares.
I think we
I
all
need to
do
look
that.
at the camera.
Remember that one episode when I
it's
said
because we're
you're super
engaging each
meta?
other.
You know how meta you are?
I'm meta?
Kyle.
Like at life? Hey, Deloitte is hiring. A GPS engagement financial analyst. I wonder what GPS stands for.
General positioning system.
Giant pussy stench.
Global?
Oval?
GPS?
That line that lines
global.
up.
Yeah, not general.
Global. Oh.
Definitely.
It's funny when you said global.
I think
I was like,
they're right here. Oh, they're in this general area.
General area?
when you said global, I was like,
It's
there's
accurate.
no
Half a
B,
mile.
it's a P.
Bless your heart.
Bless your heart.
Bless your
Oh, fuck.
Oh, man.
So I was-
That's
The plane was generally over here. This is how all 6 seasons of Lost right here. Spoiler alert.
Okay.
They're in hell,
All right.
I think. I don't know.
Honestly, I never really gave that show a shot. I didn't.
I mean,
what show?
either it's a love it or hate it.
I didn't watch it
I
because
think I'll hate it.
the family that was family friends with us that I didn't like their kids, they all liked that show. So I didn't like it out of spite. I liked Heroes more, and they were on around the same time.
It's
Didn't really
first of all,
watch that
A,
either.
Hero was great. But B, it's crazy probably the things we miss out on life while we're just not giving it a chance because a person that we dislike likes
That's the reason
it.
why I'll never own a
That's
French
wild.
bulldog.
Also, I feel like deep French bulldog owners, they're fucking them up, bro. Like I saw one the other day. It was like his paws were
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
more than a 90-degree invert. Like his elbows couldn't bend more than 60 degrees. His chest was dragging against the fucking ground. And people were like, the video was award-winning French bulldog. I'm
It's
like,
just
bro, they fucked
kill
that
me.
dog. Yeah, it's literally a kill me meme. Fuck.
On the flip side to that, though, I also saw a picture of a French bulldog. There's some breeder group in Europe somewhere that's not reverse engineering the dogs, but they're reverse engineering them. Yeah, they're unfucking them up. So there's a before and an after picture, and the after picture of what they're producing now is not crazy looking. It looks like it can breathe without struggling. It actually has a full on nose, like a snout.
As bad as it sounds, that's a noise I deep in my soul I fucking hate it.
Oh, that's why I could never get a pug.
Dogs breeding?
Dogs like French bulldogs like breathing. That I can't fucking stand it.
That or a
No,
pug's
not like that, Kyle. That's just a dog breathing, right?
ugh.
Yeah. Sounds like a goddamn Cummins, bro. I'm a pass.
Sounds like somebody with sleep
I
apnea.
got something you can come in.
Show us right now. Show the audience, Kyle.
Demonetized. Oh,
Nice.
I thought you were gonna spread something.
I tried to do the
Taker?
what's the thing you like, Drew?
Ahigo?
Who just screenshot that portion of the podcast?
I'm just
Title of the podcast: Drew masturbates to Kyle's Iago face.
Diog.
Are you gonna hear it and then still pronounce it wrong?
Iago?
Loki, I said the fucking parrot from
Yeah,
Aladdin.
Iago.
Jerking off to fucking Rule 34 of
No shit.
what's his name? Godfrey.
Oh, Gilbert.
I like the way you come.
Those are pretty good.
That was a pretty good Yago.
Title's now Gilbert Gottfried says what?
Rule 34,
All
Gilbert
caps.
Gottfried. Yo, that'd be a fire thumbnail too.
Oh, I thought you were like that'd be a fire subject.
I look forward to
I'm
seeing
about to
it,
get somebody to
That's
commission that shit.
100%. I downloaded the wrong movie
For
clip.
sure. You downloaded
I
that
don't
on
remember this in
LimeWire.
Aladdin. Yeah.
I was doing a thought experiment with myself, just being bored at work, and I had the epiphany
Just thinking, buddy.
that the Force is real, right? And the reason why I know the Force is real is we don't really know exactly how the Force works or anything like that. So how can we not say that all the paranormal activity in the world, like random doors shutting, stuff flying off the shelves, isn't just you like pretending to use the Force, but your like reach is super far because you haven't like trained it to be close or be able to control it, and you're just like force pushing somebody's cabinet closed in France, and you just don't even know it. You're just like, it doesn't work. But then, le petit cabinet, and then it slams. It's only
The little cabinet.
Just something to think about.
Non fromage. The cheese.
Oh, oui.
Not the cheese.
I mean, you can't prove me that I'm wrong.
Interesting. Yeah, but you can't prove that you're right. So
I also have
That's a
never
theory.
experienced a personal paranormal activity, so I'm still under the assumption that every video is just edited.
I've experienced plenty. When I lived in Bedford, I lived with my old buddy Mike, and my friend Marcus, and we were all hanging out in the garage once. And he had an American bulldog and big dog. Right. Anytime someone came to the door, fuck off. Cute dogs.
That's a bully,
great
right?
dogs. Yeah, yeah. But he was like
American
big.
Bull. That's like
Yeah.
the nickname, though, right?
Yeah, but
Bullies?
they're big.
Okay.
They have longer legs, full tail.
I'm thinking an English bulldog.
Anyways.
Yeah,
So
it's like an English
he
muffin.
would
Just get a
bark at
biscuit.
anybody that came to the door, right? It didn't matter who it was. If it was us opening the door, he was barking his head off. And one day we were all in the garage, and the front door, just completely opened. And we caught it on camera, and I have the file somewhere. I'll pull it for the podcast. And he just stands there and he looks, doesn't bark once, and just walks out. And we had issues like
The dog walks out?
Yeah, the dog walks out 100%.
Was he ever seen again?
No.
Yeah.
He had a
Yeah,
little
yeah, he
tiny
came-
suitcase.
Because we caught it on camera. Mike got the
Outta
notification
here.
something on his phone, so we chased after him. But that was like, I'm a big door shutter, right? Like when I leave the house, or like if I go downstairs, I shut all the doors upstairs. And I would do that when I lived at that house, and I would go back upstairs and the doors would be open. It's wild. I've had plenty of paranormal activity experiences.
That's just AC, I feel like. Blowing doors.
Yeah, I don't want to double
how does
back
an AC?
here.
How does an AC?
Bro, my AC has slammed the doors
You know how
before.
doors-
What are you talking about?
Yeah, okay, so that's closing a door, right? But opening a door.
That might, depending on like how shitty the door is.
Not
know.
a shitty door.
Eric's
Not
also a
push
big
closed door.
drinker, and Bedford was prime Rusty's time.
that was,
So, like, I
that was-
definitely shut that door,
No,
said
that was
18,
O'Shea's time.
18
Tequila Tuesday Eric.
Miller Lite Deep Eric before he gave up regular beer.
That was when I was drinking Jameson heavily.
So, even
Point
stronger
proven.
point. You're just an alcoholic.
First of all, I'm a drunk. Okay, alcoholics go to meetings. And also, when have you ever known me not to hold my liquor?
That time you saw a ghost? I mean, all
Got
I'm
him.
saying is I personally don't believe in the paranormal.
I believe in it, but I don't think, I don't know. There's like, the only reason why I believe in it is because like we can only see a certain, we're three-dimensional first, and then second off, we can only see a certain range of light. So maybe it's not as so much as like ghosts, because I don't believe in ghosts, but I do believe in like paranormal stuff, if that makes sense. I don't believe in like people dying and then coming
Like
back.
if ghosts exist, it's definitely like a multiverse bleeding through, or like
Yeah.
something else kind of thing.
Okay, first of all, that wouldn't be a ghost.
Right.
That's
So
what
if
I'm
we're
saying.
gonna start talking about what we're believing in, let's make sure we're staying inside the parameters of the description, right? First of all, paranormal, right? And what I don't believe in is if the doors at Eric's house were opening on their own. I don't think it was fucking Susie from 1843 who was brutally murdered 17 doors down, and then like the guy dragged the dress and her spirit clung to the dress and he buried it under the plot of land that Eric's home was built on in Bedford.
That was real specific, huh?
Now,
yeah.
what I am
You're accessing a
Watch your
past
fucking
life.
back, bro. Natalie, watch your fucking back.
I bought you a dress.
That's what I'm saying I don't believe in, right? I'm not saying that there's not a chance that something that currently we can't explain, whether that be some sort of extra dimension, multiple, like alternate reality, those type of things are much more believable to me than, right, ghosts. Because in my understanding of history, right, everything that was explained like that was proven to be scientific at some point, right? And there's much more basis, in my opinion, in things like string theory, multiple universes, alternate timelines, things of that nature, right? Where our perception of time and our ability to understand the space-time continuum and how time and space are relative to each other when they really could not be connected is different and could be the explanation toward paranormal stuff, right? Versus, I don't think the spirits of the dead are wandering the earth, fucking with our doors.
Right, that's what we just
Right.
said, basically.
Yeah. Also, white people are still alive. So.
But see, I wouldn't call that paranormal.
What are we talking about?
Like, I would call the ghost shit paranormal.
What are we talking
I wouldn't call.
about?
I wouldn't call the altered, like, if it's another reality bleeding over, I wouldn't call that paranormal.
Right, but it's not. But that's what people think paranormal shit is. You know, like they're wrong, but that's just because
That's what I'm saying. In the very literal sense of the term, I don't believe in the paranormal as in like ghosts.
You just explained what we're saying.
yeah, you just mansplain
Okay.
our own opinions.
Episode 16.
I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Kyle
'cause if
mansplains.
there's stuff that I do believe in. There's stuff I don't believe in. I want to make sure
Right,
that
no.
the words that we're using match up with the beliefs that I
Do
have.
we believe in souls?
I mean, what is a soul?
I believe in souls.
I think my consciousness is bound with my mind, but I mean, like, if we found a way to duplicate my consciousness in electronic signals in a computer, would I think that my soul transferred into a computer? No, but the replication of my brain signals, right? The main thing is that we don't even understand the brain, right?
You don't think your
We don't
soul would
even
be able to tell the difference between your body and a computer?
No,
I would assume so.
because I think when most people say soul, they say consciousness, and I
think they're the same
that
thing.
at a point in time, our consciousness is going to be able to be transported into another vessel, whether it be something animatronic or another body in some sort of sense, where they could, like grow the cells and atoms of a body and then transport the way that your the electricity between your brain cells goes off into another physical.
I don't think so. I think
form.
consciousness and soul are the same exact thing. They've been separated.
See, I don't think that.
through.
Not to miss out, I got something I can transfer into another body.
I'm starting to want to do this podcast.
So what do you
less
think the
and
difference between
less.
consciousness and soul is?
I don't think there's a difference. I think your consciousness is your experience through life, and I think it's like one of those things like lost in translation type of things. Like different cultures or different texts might have used soul, and then others have used consciousness or something like that. But I think they're the same exact thing. Just because it's something that like. Maybe I can imagine like having a different body.
I guess I would say like my brain is my consciousness, but like my core would be my soul.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends on like how you view the word. And
What do you mean your
world.
core?
I just didn't want to
I
say
can elaborate
art
on that.
because that sounds super cheesy.
It does sound
No, but what?
I mean, I could see it being something that's not necessarily lost in translation, or no, is sorry, but depending on culture, right? Like, I would imagine that cultures that believe in reincarnation, it's your soul that moves on, not your consciousness, because it's not like you're born with those memories.
Right.
But
You imagine getting rebirthed as a rabbit and like knowing you're a rabbit? Mm-mm. Absolutely not.
Well, I think
I'll
that
build a big nest though.
the soul,
This is a heavy
the soul and
topic to be opening
the soul
with.
and the soul and consciousness are one and the same, but are like different sides of the same
Like, she
coin.
never sucked the consciousness out of me.
All I'm saying
Your
is
soul
we got from uncircumcised to cock
to souls.
to the soul real quick in this episode.
So-
we are all of 19 minutes in.
That's a clue. I'm fucking dead.
So like maybe your consciousness is just your experience of the soul. So of course you can't have the same consciousness but have the same soul, if that makes sense, because you're literally, your consciousness is something that's molded over time.
Yeah.
I would say your soul is as well.
I don't think your soul
right?
is.
Like,
I feel like people who are inherently bad are just bad off the start.
see, I don't think there are people that are inherently bad.
I do.
I do as well.
Putin is a good example. I don't. Maybe not inherently bad. Maybe that's a little bit too extreme.
He
But
wasn't born a dickhead.
Yeah, I think
He's just
I think
become
yeah,
a
I think
dickhead.
from my experience with children, right? Like I don't have a lot of it, right? But in my experience, they're inherently good, man. Like if you took any child and you put them into the right environment, and I'm not like I haven't done a social experiment with thousands of like newborn babes, right? But I mean, I think there are certain factors that create negative behavior, right?
yeah, no, for sure, it's definitely a. I can't remember what the like phrasing is, but it is like an environmental thing.
Nature
but,
versus
I mean,
nurture.
I definitely, I think as well that some people can be inherently bad.
Yeah,
Just thinking back, like as a child, just kids that were like assholes and like little shits, and have grown up to continue to be assholes and bigger shits, and like that are in jail now because they robbed blah 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 or they murdered blah blah blah, and like they were down that path and they never took the right turn. It was just
Right, but something
always the
also
wrong
set
turn.
them down that path. It wasn't like
For sure.
I mean, it's
Possibly,
a string of
right?
mistakes.
Like,
I don't think.
But you don't know that.
I mean, outside of
But
like
you don't know that it
literal,
didn't
like
happen either.
diagnosed psychopaths, like I don't think that's.
well, what I'm saying is like we can all like the same thing, like the same exact thing could happen to all of us, and we would all differently react to that thing. We're not going to have the same reaction. We might have like the same base reaction. Like if all of our dads were shot in the head in front of us, we'd all be sad about it. That's the baseline. But like after that, I feel like
I mean, even when you say stuff like that, though, and so even I want to even clarify the word inherently bad. So the way that I'm interpreting the phrase inherently bad is as destiny, right? I don't think that there are people that are born and their destiny is to be
I
bad.
don't think
But one thing I will
destiny
add here, let me get to the next point and you'll kind of understand what I'm talking about, right? So the part one is I don't think people are like destined, right? And that's kind of what inherently means, in my opinion, is that you are destined to be a serial killer, right? No matter what situation you're put in, you're going to be a serial killer, is what inherently means to me, right? Like no matter what scenario you're put through, you're going to end up being, let's just say, as an example, a serial killer. Let's just like go to evil, like the ends of evil, right? What I do accept as reality is that there is a chemical element to emotion. And this has been already scientifically proven, but nowhere, we don't even understand the brain enough to get to the ends of the questions, right? But I do think that there are people that biologically have chemical imbalances that create the immunity to empathy and sympathy. And if you take those factors away from anybody, that is the barrier that stops people from doing wrong.
So you wouldn't say that
Are inherently
feel
bad.
empathy or sympathy are inherently bad.
No, because inherent trumps the fact that we can't fix it. If we should at some point, I do think that we'll be able to pinpoint the chemical imbalances that create the inability to feel empathy and sympathy, and we will be. It's the same as like being able to test for certain like degenerative diseases before the baby is born, and then you pose the question to the mom like, "Hey, there's X is going to happen," and then they have choices among that. Now, I'm not going to take either side of that argument, but that's there, right? We can detect things that are going to 100% happen to a child before it's born, and if we could do that, and then in response to that, if we could not only detect it but fix it through whatever CRISPR, I don't know if
I know what CRISPR is.
Everybody knows what CRISPR. Okay, just for the audience, for if anybody is listening and doesn't know what CRISPR is like altering the genes, the DNA of a physical being, right? Like, so I don't think they've done it on people yet. I don't know for sure, but I know they're definitely doing it on others.
Thought they were throwing them babies in air fryers.
But you know what I'm saying? If we could detect that a child was going to have the chemical imbalance to not have empathy and sympathy, and then correct it, right? They would no longer inherently be bad.
Okay, but
right?
According to modern science, though, today's standards of technology, right? Those children that are born are potentially inherently bad because they lack the mentality. They lack the mental.
Well, here's the thing. Inherently,
that's why I said
according to the dictionary,
good or bad.
Inherently means existing in something as a permanent, essential, or characteristic attribute.
See, that's why I'm saying destiny. Like, they're destined to be bad, right? If someone was inherently evil, in my scope, in my understanding, and my interpretation of the word, that would mean no matter what, that they were going to kill.
Right.
Right.
But right now, to modern science, they are inherently bad, potentially.
Yeah, what I'm saying,
right? Because they lack the ability to be sympathetic or empathetic. Like, they don't share the same emotion.
What I'm saying specifically, like using serial killers for examples. Yes, bad things usually happen to serial killers, and that's why they end up being serial killers. But that's their instinct reaction to combat those traumatic events that happen to them. Because most of the time, I mean, just off of the few serial killers that I do know, the same thing has happened to other people, and they are not
of.
I was about to
like, you know my secret?
One eye open, motherfucker.
So, like, same trauma has happened to other people, and it's like being a serial killer is like a big thing. There's not a lot of serial killers that we know of, but
I think that's actually the exact opposite. I think it's like there are actually a lot of serial killers. They're just like,
statistically, it's like saying there's a lot of gun deaths. Like, people say that, but it's not true.
I watched a TikTok
comparative
earlier.
to the amount
like
of deaths there are.
There's 2 serial killers in New York right now.
yeah.
That's out of 8 million people. That's a small amount of people.
I mean, just
like 21 million people in New York
But
City.
that's the point, is that there's only 2 out of
the number,
the population of New York.
Like 1,000.
That's what I'm saying. It's like the handful.
Even
of
if there was 1,000 serial killers in New York, that would be a small amount relative to the populace of New York.
I guess my point was, like, out of the like maybe 5 to 10 like big name serial killers that people find really popular or interesting, they were like mostly in one area and like not a whole lot of overlap and all around the same like timeline, I guess.
Basically, let me finish my point.
Yeah, elaborate on what he's saying. Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is that like back to my scenario, where all our dads get shot in the head in front of us, we're all gonna react differently. Some of us might go looking for vengeance. Some of us might go to therapy. Some of us might go to addiction and self-medicate. Like, we will all have those different things. And people who are born, like you said, without empathy and sympathy, which are two major things of being a good person.
I'm just going to keep it pushing.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, people are inherently bad. Like, if something happened to my dad or like my brother, yeah, I would probably want to kill the person that hurt my brother, but I'm not going to continue to kill people. That's a bad example. But my point is,
would you let someone that kills your dad slide?
Probably. No, I'm just kidding. He doesn't listen to the podcast.
Mr. Blackman.
No, but like it's all about reaction,
nice
and it comes from somewhere within you. And like Jeffrey Dahmer was bullied a lot, and so he started killing and eating people. There's people that are probably bullied way worse, and they
It's all
didn't
cause and
start
effect,
killing
baby.
people. You know, it's the effect that you choose from the cause, basically, is like what makes you.
That's what cause and
inherently
effect
bad.
is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, let's say like you lost your job over some bullshit or whatever. Like, are you gonna start killing people, or maybe like going after those families of the people that wronged you and like doing horrible things to them? Or are you just gonna, be a conservative and pull yourself up by the bootstraps and fucking...
Depends on the level of bullshit, to be honest.
See, it's not even the level of bullshit. It's everybody. The thing is that everybody has something. Like, I guarantee you, everybody on the planet Earth has something.
Well, I mean, when it comes to killing, I'm not saying only bad people kill people.
Right.
I'm not saying that at all.
Like, there's people with literal OCD disorder that could possibly kill over you turning the angle of the spoon by 10 degrees. But we all have something. There's always something it's just all about what you value,
but if
right?
they kill me and they feel nothing from it, they are inherently bad.
That's not what I'm saying. You said
what I'm saying is, like,
about the bullying.
If somebody killed my brother and then I go and kill that person, right? I might feel okay about it, but that's just because it was an extreme reaction that I had, because I'm like, I got justice for my brother or whatever. It was vengeance. But I'm not going to continue killing people because, and I probably would eventually regret it, especially like if there was like a whole, I mean, obviously I'd be on trial. I don't know why I'm saying if there was. There would be a trial, and then I would probably see their parents and their siblings and like be like, wow, I like
keep going.
Yeah, like I affected their lives because of my short impulse or something. I don't know. What I'm saying is,
I mean, it's also an exposure thing.
What you're saying is you would feel bad if you killed somebody.
If you, say your brother got murdered by someone. Say it's,
God forbid,
a trucker who drives a semi, right?
That's different. I'm talking about like murder, not like killed in a car accident. I'm not gonna go kill that person.
I mean, like that's just the example. Like, that's just professional.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he brutally murders your brother in a non-accidental capacity.
He murders him. Okay.
Right, but then you don't get the exposure to any of his friends or family because he doesn't have any, right? Because he probably doesn't develop relationships well if he killed your brother in a brutal manner, and so all you get to see is the closure that your mom and your brother's friends and the sense of justice that they feel from the person who stole precious moments and memories of a valued individual from them. The person who took that away from them the situation was rectified. It was tit for tat. It was an eye for an eye, and you could easily, I'm not saying you're going to start fucking killing school children, but you could easily see that and feed off of that energy of righting that wrong and start seeking out other wrongdoers and giving them their just desserts.
It's a really optimistic outlook on murder.
You're reading me The Punisher right now?
That's why I said that was a bad example, because I feel like doing revenge or revenge in that specific scenario is a bad example. If a close family member that you hold very dear was murdered, most people's initial thought is like, how do I kill this person if they're still alive?
I think to contribute to the point you're making, right? Like, right now, crime happens every day, right? You see crime
100%,
all the
yeah.
time. You know, you see people being murdered in the streets, not necessarily see them with your own eyes, but you hear about it all often, right? In that aspect, I'm never like right now, I'm not like I could really go out there and handle some business and do serve a justice for the city or some
I could really go do a murder right now.
you know, vigilante shit, right? But like in that same thought, if someone gunned down my mom tomorrow, I would have no hesitation.
Right.
This is definitely going to be in my trial if it ever comes up. I was just
Exhibit A.
theoretically, right?
Hypothetically.
And in concert, it's like, make sure that you guys rate us
In
5
an
stars
alternate universe.
on Spotify. Make sure to subscribe to YouTube as well.
Yeah, it was really, you know, we're still making money off of it. So if you can help us out, pay for my court fees. But no, like theoretically, if my mom was gunned down tomorrow, today, right? Like in a completely normal space, I don't think I would have a second thought of seeking vengeance. And I think it would end there. I can't say that 100%, you know, obviously, but
Hey, we're not Batman.
But in the space I am today, I wouldn't even think twice about doing that, but I'm not about to go out here and clean up everybody else's mess.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're not going to do that if somebody scratches your car or somebody who steals money from you. You're not going to just be like, I'm going to kill this motherfucker.
Unless you liked it.
I don't know. Here, I feel like that I always have to play devil's advocate, but I feel like it goes to good places where we can get into good discussions. So I'm going to do it here, right? So let me pose some questions to you, right? So every action creates a reaction, right? And so I want to pose some thoughts on you, right? So have you, and the way I'm going to word it, you're going to immediately jump to no, but I'm going to elaborate on it, and I feel like I'm going to be able to change your answer. But as the precipice, the base of this devil's advocate argument, have you ever committed a crime and then felt good after?
Daily.
Yeah.
100%.
What'd you say, Les?
Yeah.
What'd you say, Nathan?
Daily.
Yeah, 100%. My thing is, as far as I know, and I truly believe none of us have killed anybody, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, theoretically, yes.
Everybody answers
yes.
No, nonetheless, that's what I believe. Obviously, that's what you're going to answer. But in a hypothetical, theoretical world, like I've stolen something and felt like nice. I got away with it.
Yeah.
Like it's a rush. You run a red light, it's a rush, right? Like, and those are kind of like arguably victimless crimes and stuff like that. But I mean, I can't, because I've never experienced it in a purely analytical world where I have to base my opinions on previous experience. I can't say that I wouldn't enjoy murdering somebody.
Right here, Your Honor. Hey guys, make sure
Right here.
to follow us.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
5 stars on Spotify.
Chris Hansen busts through the
Pretty
door.
confident. I don't think I would enjoy that experience.
I get what you're saying. I guess I was basing my argument on like serial killers and murdering a person.
No.
Like if it's something that you continuously do and do enjoy and never feel repent for or wanting repentance, you're inherently bad, in my opinion.
So, speaking of inherently bad, because I just thought of a family member, right? I have a cousin, his name is Lauren, and he's currently doing 32 years.
Probably because his name's Lauren.
And
you said 32 years, right?
And 32 years, yeah, 32 years.
Okay, cool.
For murder.
Yeah, it's probably because his bitch ass name is Lauren.
And
Sorry.
He had a decent childhood, you know, growing up. He wasn't rich, and I wouldn't necessarily consider his family wealthy. They grew up in the hood, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, his parents both loved him. They treated him with respect. His dad was legally blind. So he was disabled or whatever.
Holding it down.
So, but, I mean, we were close, right? I know he was treated well for the most part. And outside of that, but I mean, he continuously made bad choice after bad choice after bad choice. And it was chance after chance after chance. right? And there was one time where he just got bored and he burnt their next door house that was vacant, thankfully. He burnt it to the fucking ground.
Now, I don't know
but
him personally,
did he know
but
somebody was in it?
No, but that's still illegal. It's still a bad
Nah,
thing.
because
what I was gonna say is, like, I
there's
don't-
there's no good argument for that.
Well,
He burnt the house down to the ground.
that's what I was gonna
That's
say. So,
not
like,
true,
I
though.
don't
People-
think that, like, granted, I don't know him personally, but you could use that as an example of he's not inherently bad. He's just an idiot.
Okay, so slippery slope after slippery slope, right?
Dumb
He
people be making
was
dumb
living his
decisions.
life, whatever. One of his friends was murdered and killed him. And, I mean, he didn't like necessarily go out and kill him. The guy that killed him drove by the funeral. My cousin chased him down, pulled him out of his fucking car. Dude was on the ground.
I thought he
no
burnt the
weapon, no
house
nothing.
down. Are we in a
Fucking-
different
The
story?
detective
Are we
that's
just
on that case
pivoting?
is like, finally.
This is the same person. This is the same as the whole
Damn,
life
he really
story.
chased his ass down. That's some Batman shit for
Pulled
sure.
it out of the car and lit him on fire?
No,
Fucking, can you
two
shut the fuck
separate
up and let me
incidents.
finish?
Oh my
perhaps?
god, I'm so
Like,
confused.
Just-
What
yeah,
happened?
you wouldn't be confused if you would stop talking.
You want some more what he's having?
He pulled him out of the car.
Vengeance.
And he was on the ground and he fucking killed him. He shot him twice, and he was defenseless.
Damn, he brought his gat to the funeral?
Yeah,
Man was on a
I
mission.
mean, I took my guy to a funeral. Yeah, but so that's
My
I
fofo
can't
make
necessarily
sure
say
all
that he
your
was
kids
inherently
Okay.
good, right? I
Can I
can't
just
necessarily
rewind
say
so I
that
can
he
get-
had the same. Yes. Wow.
I just want a full picture of the story. This is the dude that burned a dude's house down.
Yeah, if you would listen, right, instead of talking, you would know. You would know these things.
Would I know?
Yeah, you would, because that's
You
what I
made it
said.
really sound like he burned a house down, was doing 32 years in prison because he didn't know someone was in the house.
No, I didn't make it sound like that.
He was
I
setting up.
continuing on a story
Yeah.
from point A to point B, but you like took a detour.
See, what he
on your
did
own.
is what Nathan wished that Star Wars did, was start at the beginning. But it was somehow still
That's why Star Wars
confusing.
is
It was
confusing.
weird. It was weird.
I mean, telling a story by middle, beginning, and it's just a weird format to tell a story in.
Literally,
See,
it's
I was
called a
trying
Tarantino.
It's called a Tarantino
There's a
movie.
name for it.
Tarantino movie.
A Tarantino. He always starts at the middle or end of movies, and then
Yeah, movies,
oh,
not series.
13 weeks earlier, everything was good. Let's show you how we got there.
He Tarantino'd a whole series, a whole saga.
Kill Bill.
He's got multiple sagas.
Anyways,
Kill Bill, yeah. It's,
not even who I was
Well, does
talking
not
about.
start
I
at
was
the
talking
beginning.
about George Lucas.
Yeah, 100%. It starts with her in the coffin, right?
yeah.
And then she busts out, and then it rewinds to how she got in the coffin. So literally, the beginning of
We're not
Kill
even-
Bill is episode 4.
We're not even arguing the same point anymore.
Anyways. I like it, but I also
Yeah.
don't like how deep this podcast is. Where we're like,
Yeah.
is man inherently bad? What is a soul? Welcome to NPR.
Consciousness.
Consciousness. I don't even think I can say consciousness
Oh,
the right
man.
way more than 5 times. It's a big
But
word.
yeah.
It's a hard word.
I believe people can be inherently bad.
I think it's a very high possibility that people can. I'm not saying everybody. I'm not saying it's more than most or most. I'm saying people can be born inherently bad.
I guess my argument is, to me, inherently bad means no explanation. The word inherently bad would mean they're bad because they're bad. That's my view of the word inherently bad.
most
And-
school
and-
shooters.
In my argument of
Inherently
that,
white.
my
Yeah, There
argument,
goes this YouTube video. It's been taken down now.
my argument to that is, I think that everybody is bad is explainable. Whether it be traumatic events, whether it be chemical imbalances
That doesn't make them any less
Yeah.
inherently to a dictionary
to me,
standard,
it does.
But to a
No,
dictionary
no,
standard,
inherent
to a
means they have-
factual point, it
No.
doesn't.
No.
Oh, shut up.
Incorrect, because inherent would mean that they have to be bad no matter what.
Nathan, go ahead and read us the definition for inherent again.
You still got that up, Jamie?
Existing in something as a permanent, essential, or characteristic attribute.
Thank you. So,
Perm-
to today's science, people
No,
can be born
I-
inherently bad.
I think that's incorrect.
Well, I'm glad you
that's the
have a
dictionary.
very positive view on humankind.
I agree. I don't have that same.
Al
view.
said, "That's my opinion."
I don't think it's positive. I don't.
You
I don't
are
know if
saying
we'll ever
you have a
solve it.
positive view saying that people cannot be inherently bad.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm saying that man can be evil, and
Let me flip the opposite onto you. Is there people that are inherently good?
yes, religions are
people that
based
are
off of those people.
Uncorruptible.
Yes.
Yeah,
You think there's a single person on the planet Earth that, given unlimited resources and abilities, you could not make them do something bad?
I think to today's standards,
hold on.
with
You
every-
have to define the level of bad, because if you're talking about a speeding
somebody.
ticket,
Kill
Tom Hanks
somebody.
is not murdering anybody for any amount of money.
I didn't say money.
Or
I said
anything.
unlimited resources, and I don't think that's true. I, to my core, think that there is a thing, I don't know what it is, that could make Tom Hanks kill somebody else.
I think in today's world, with the resources around, right? Because this is going to put a more realistic expectation on this conversation. With the resources that are around and that are given, I think that there are people that would not trade anything in the world, like anything in the world, for a crime such as murder. I do believe
Well,
that.
I'm sure you could find tons of people that would be like, "Yeah, I'll kill a motherfucker right now," but there are definitely people that would be like, "Absolutely not. What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah, I think if you ask a bunch of people, they're going to say no. My opinion is there is something that you could do to anybody that would make them kill
It's called
somebody.
Saw,
Now, I'm
Kyle.
not saying you could find out what it is, but I'm saying it's there. In my opinion, in my experience, it's there.
Well, for the same rule that I have for inherently bad people, I have for inherently good people. I don't think there's a huge population of inherently good people, but I do believe that there are inherently good people out there.
Leave her
Here,
away,
let me pose
Mr. Rogers.
a fucking question to you. Here,
That's
let me hit this. Let me fucking hit this, right? So we're talking inherently bad if someone's born with a chemical imbalance that prevents them from feeling sympathy and empathy, that you're calling them inherently bad when they kill someone because they don't feel bad about it, right?
Provided they
Correct.
are
This is
aware
not
of their
rhetorical.
condition, yeah.
What do you mean aware of their condition? These people probably don't know that they have a chemical imbalance that prevents them from feeling
You don't
sympathy
feel
or
anything.
empathy.
I'm pretty sure that gets diagnosed.
Yeah. That makes you a psychopath.
Like, you tell me if one of your daughters had no feelings, you as a parent would not be like, "We should probably get this checked out." Like,
So what the fuck are you supposed to do about it?
Take your fucking
medications, therapists.
There is definitely no medications that make you feel sympathy.
No, for sure, but doesn't stop doctors from trying. Big pharma, bro.
What are we talking about trying here? I'm saying if a person does not feel bad when they hurt other individuals,
and they continue to hurt other individuals,
Then they're
and
bad.
they go out of their
Bad
way
person.
to hurt other individuals, and they see that they don't feel
I'm
right.
not, I'm not talking about out of the way. It's
No,
only
if they go
out of
the way. No, if they go out of the way, that's the point.
Just
That's-
because
do you
they
even
don't
mean by
have
out of the
feelings
way?
doesn't mean they
If
don't
they're
know
like-
right from wrong.
if they're like, you know what, fuck this guy, bam, and they're like, okay, cool, I killed somebody, and they walk off.
definition of right is wrong is something that makes you feel bad.
I don't think that's true.
Not legally. That's why there are laws in place. You run a
But
red
there's-
light, but you feel good about it. It's still against the law. You just asked the question, right? When you break a law and you feel good, you're still breaking the law. It's still wrong. It could be right, but it's not. It's illegal. It's wrong.
It's
So
not.
if you
That's
don't
what I'm
feel
saying,
bad
though. It's
for
not
murdering
wrong.
somebody-
Plenty of
If you don't
serial
feel bad
killers
for murdering
enjoyed
somebody,
killing the people.
There's no
illegal.
way that
It's
right and
still
wrong
wrong.
align with the law.
I agree.
In what way?
I don't think.
In what way? What? There is
Law.
nothing, in my opinion, there is nothing wrong with running a red light.
Why?
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Laws are made by man, right? But almost any human will be like, murder is wrong. There are things that most people that can agree that are not okay. Running red lights, speeding, fucking laundering money, all this shit is all like
So,
a
question
gray
for you.
area.
If you went to a bar, you drank a fifth of vodka, got fucking blackout drunk, decided then to get behind the wheel and drive. That's not wrong. You don't feel wrong about that?
At the
That's not
time,
wrong?
depending on the time, no. That's my point. But
But that, I mean, that's not. But
No,
like,
here.
let's say
Let me
later on,
back
like,
up. Let me back up.
tomorrow,
Let me
the
back
next
up.
day.
Let me back up. Let me back up so I can pose a scenario to you. You're saying that running a red light is wrong because it's against the law.
Legally, yes, it's wrong.
Okay, look, listen to me. No, I'm not talking about legal. We're just right and wrong. The word right and wrong is what we're talking about. It is wrong to run a red light because it's illegal.
In every aspect, if you're counting every scenario, it's not right to run a red light. No.
It is not. No, I'm not counting. I'm just saying, is it wrong to run a red light because it's illegal? Listen to the sentence. Is it wrong to run a red light because it's illegal?
I can't give you an absolute answer on that because if you're just driving through traffic and you run a red light and
Look, I
there is
understand
traffic-
killing somebody in
Okay,
a
but
car
even if
because you ran a red light
It's
is
still
wrong.
wrong.
I'm
Okay.
saying, is it wrong? Look, at the base of it.
Yes.
there's
yes,
no
it's wrong.
absolute answer to that, though. Because if you're in the middle of the night, there's no traffic, and you're stopped at a red light, you can run that red light, and there's no consequences to it, other than maybe getting a ticket.
I'm not talking about consequences.
But
I'm
he's
talking
saying
about
there's no-
But I'm
right
saying
and
the
wrong.
scenario's
Right and
different.
wrong or not.
The scenarios are
To
different.
humor you, I'll give you an absolute answer. Yes, it is wrong to run a red light.
Because no, I'm not. It's not about the red light. It's about the law. Does
I'm
the
giving you an
law?
absolute answer. Yes. It's
Yes.
wrong.
Okay. That logic is completely reversible. And 100 years ago, it was right to beat your wife with a switch that's smaller than your thumb, and that was the law.
In
And
Texas,
that
it's
doesn't
still
make it right.
to beat your wife on the court steps on a Sunday.
That's
so.
what I'm saying is the law and right and wrong are not synonymous.
I never said that they were.
Yes, you did. That's what the question was. The question was, is it wrong to run a red light because it's the law?
Okay, it's not what I said
Okay.
though. I didn't.
That's what I never
never
asked that
said
question.
that the law and your ability to sense right and wrong are synonymous though. I never once said that.
That's what I asked you. I said because of the direct correlation. If it's wrong to run a red light because it's a law, the correlation of it being wrong is because it's a law.
Okay, but that doesn't apply necessarily, I guess, at this point, right, to every single law.
Counter lawyered.
That's what
But that doesn't also group me into saying that every law is right because everything is right because it's the law. I never said that.
That's what I'm saying. Is the basis of right and wrong has nothing to do with the
Agreed.
law.
I agree with you.
That's the basis of my point.
Right.
I
But everybody can agree that murder's not cool.
Yeah.
So, if you think murder's cool, you are inherently bad.
I still just
Even
think
the
that just
definition of-
because you can't feel emotions doesn't mean you don't know the difference between right and wrong.
Yeah, you can not have empathy and sympathy and not want to kill people. Right? You can not
have empathy or sympathy and still understand.
you can be
that
like,
people is
yeah,
wrong.
you could be like, oh, I should probably not do that. But if you act on it and you're like, this is cool, I'm gonna keep on doing this, you're inherently bad. That's my point. I'm not saying you're bad if you break the law. I'm not saying you're inherently bad if you break the law. But I am saying if you kill and you're okay with it and you vibe when you kill, you are inherently bad.
You piece of shit.
Yeah, fuck you personally. That's why in the beginning I said, oh, killing a loved one is a bad example. Because most people will be like, I'm going to kill that motherfucker. Kyle's not happy. Oh, man. What a podcast, right? A little study on our
Agreed.
psyches. A little... We got pretty deep there. You know?
I got something deep for you.
Kyle's flustered.
I don't know if I would say flustered. I was frustrated for sure. That's how I felt after the whole rock thing. For sure. Oh.
Oh, man. So anybody else got anything else they want to talk about? We got a few minutes.
Nathan apparently hates Ryan Reynolds.
I
So.
don't hate Ryan Reynolds.
No, he liked that movie. I thought.
No, he said it was me.
No, I didn't.
I don't think he did.
Nathan doesn't.
Oh
really
my!
understand
Oh
it.
my!
I don't think he did.
Hold on, yeah.
I said it was
no,
okay.
you
I
called it
literally
mid.
did not say it was
Definitely
mid.
did.
You 100%.
I said it was all right. I said that Are we talking?
I almost think that you said the word mid verbatim.
No, I called the movie with him and The Rock mid. I said this one was okay.
Okay, what's the difference between okay and mid A?
They literally
Mid literally means okay.
Well, you said
100%.
verbatim, so
I think we should have named this podcast.
Okay, I'm about to look. I'm about to
Semantics.
find what you said. A, number
I literally
one.
just told you verbatim. The new Ryan Reynolds movie is okay.
How would you score it 1 out of 10?
Honestly, it's a Netflix movie, so I wouldn't expect.
Like a 5.5 to 6.5 at best.
Okay, so mid. All right.
Mid is like 3 to 4, maybe 5 at the best.
That's not
No,
what mid
mid, by the definition of the word mid, which is short for middle, would be the exact difference between 1 and 10, which would be 5.
You should context clues then. Shit, I don't fucking know.
I'll give you a better reference for like a better definition.
Refer to these nights, all right? Refer that.
Like
Refer
whenever
to
you would
that.
smoke weed back in like high school, and you're like, I got some mid, right? It's not Reggie, right? But it ain't like hydro, because it's mid. It's like right in between, like
Yeah, that's why I said
bullshit-ass
3 to
weed and that
4.
good weed. That's mid.
I would say, in Nathan's defense, playing devil's advocate, in today's context, mid is usually somewhat used in the same way as like overrated. Like people are like, "This is high." He's like, "Nah, it's mid." Like it's not as good as you think it is. That's how, at least, I view mid.
First of all, I haven't seen a single opinion of the
Yeah, I
new
haven't either.
Adam Project.
Mid
Ryan
is
Reynolds
usually
movie.
used to be an insult. Okay is okay.
I don't think that mid
I think
is an
mid
insult.
is used. That's why.
Mid is literally used as an
That's
insult.
because everybody is expected to be the best at everything.
No, not that. It's just like
I feel like that's a standard thing. If I say something mid, I think that still means it's worth watching.
I think
like
I
just
can
because
speak for all of us here. I'm
Yeah,
just
that's
tired
why
of
it's
Zoomers
mid, Kyle, because it's
appropriating
still
everything, bro.
whatever.
I'm so tired.
it's
of
always the
Zoomers.
new
Oh my
generation
God.
that does it, bro.
I'm so tired of Zoomers, bro.
Dude, I will say I just started watching the newest season of South Park. Like, I've never been a huge fan of that show, but I'll watch it from time to time. And like, as it gets older, I like it more because of like the relevant like shit that they do. But
Yeah.
there's an episode about teenagers that like literally watching it, I was like, that's my fucking nephew, like to a T. They're just like, bruh, how do I make ramen? Like, it's like boil water. It's like, bruh. And it's like, yeah,
Is
that's
that the
for
newest
sure.
episode?
It's like one of the newer episodes. Yeah, it's like
Okay. Because
3
I've
or
been watching
4.
the new season,
Yeah.
25th season. Just because like I'm on HBO and I'm like, all right, I'll watch
Yeah.
it. Fuck it.
Yeah, I put it on when I want some noise or something to fall asleep to.
I
Also,
kept seeing all the
because
token
watch the show.
TikToks. So
I love you.
I don't think we have any Zoomers.
honestly, I feel like the way to get Zoomers to follow is someone to fuck themselves.
Zoomers are all about
we just have to talk
loving
about
each
our
other.
depression, and then we'll get some Zoom
We're
reviews.
gonna talk about our depression, maybe being poly, some rocks.
And Polly.
Polyamorous.
anything you
Polyamorous.
I guess I'm a fucking
Polyamorous.
boomer because
Polly what?
Amorous.
Polyamorous.
It's having an open relationship.
Polly. I thought you said Polly. Like I am.
I heard impoly as well. I was like
What
impulsive.
the fuck is that?
Well, no, just super off topic, but I put it in the topics just because I'm curious because I know there's a couple things that I say. Is there anything that you guys say, like that you have a habit of saying when you're driving, like your top phrases that you go to, or y'all just
Son
be
of a bitch. You motherfucker. What the fuck are you doing? Those three right
What
there.
the fuck are you doing? Is a
100%.
for sure. Top 3.
Get the fuck out of my way!
just saying, mine aren't even aggressive. I realized that I often say "got a blast" when I'm passing people, and
Oh,
like
You're not talking about reactionary.
yeah, I mean, just these are literally the most common things that I say.
Nathan,
while
I'm going to
in
be
the
honest
car.
with you. There's nothing I say that's not in response to someone wronging me.
100%.
I'm never just driving
No,
and
for
be
sure,
like,
it's-
to fifth gear!
No, I guess it's like just usually if I'm
It's all
like,
about family.
if I'm like stuck behind somebody for a while and I gotta pass them, I'll just be like, "got a blast" or some shit, and I'll drive by. Or I noticed I'd also do when I have to. When I'm like drafting behind somebody and I'm using like a car in front of me to pass,
Watch out, you're
I'll be-
drafting.
I mean,
by
it's not
people.
like I know it's not doing anything, but it makes me feel like it is. I'll be like slingshot, engage. Yeah.
If I'm ever stuck behind somebody for a while and I finally get the space to get around them, it's never in a positive light that I'm saying anything. It's always.
I'm like,
always pissed the fuck
I'm not
off
a very aggressive driver. Like, I mean, I definitely do. There are times where I'm like, "What the fuck," and like I get mad and shit. But for the most part, As long as I'm not like I'm never in a rush anywhere.
And all ships.
Yeah, I'm aggressive as fuck.
I am aggressive, but I try to like be passive aggressive. So like if somebody cuts me off or something, I'm like, I hope you wake up tomorrow morning and all your tires are flat. And then just be passive aggressive as fuck. It's like I hope somebody flashes.
I'm not.
I think I'm
not talking to anybody else.
I think I've just been in the car enough, like at an early age, with people that had anger issues and that would like scream at other cars, and like even at a young age, I was like, ugh, that's cringy. So it's just never really been my thing.
Both of my parents have road rage.
No, it wasn't my parents, but like just like
passed down
kids that I knew in high school and shit like that. Where I'm just
Good
like,
save, Nathan.
Calm down, edgelord.
Yeah,
I guess Nathan
at
doesn't.
a younger age, if someone cut me off, I was cutting them off immediately.
I guess Nathan doesn't hate everything, huh?
Ooh, story time while we're on this topic. So, probably 10 years ago, 2012, 2013 era.
Killed the girl 17 houses down and buried her dress under somebody's house.
Absolutely not. But on the topic of road rage, so this is the story to Tarantino it. I got pulled over by a police officer asking why I was following this car. 27 minutes earlier.
Episode 1.
So I'm driving to work from my house, right? And I'm getting on the highway. And so I get on the highway and I'm in an old Dodge, right? For some reason. And I don't remember what I did. I was young and dumb. I was probably 21, 22 years old. So I likely did something that was probably not acceptable in society. But I know that this SUV got in front of me and flicked me off, and I saw it. And this is roughly around, in Grand Prairie, roughly around Great Southwest and 20. And so what I did is I sped up, I got in front of them, slowed down, they got around me, and then I proceeded them to follow them for 27 miles as they drove, and I just followed them.
And said, "Fuck work."
I've never
real.
never had
I
that
didn't give
type
a
of anger.
fuck.
For like,
I was furious. Like, you're not going to flick me off. I'm about to scare the fuck out of you, right? So I followed them for 27 miles, right? And then I can tell they know I'm there, right? First of all, they flicked me off, so they know what my car looks like. They've actively engaged me. And then they make 7 left turns.
idiots.
And I follow them all around. And then we're still driving, and at some point, a cop pulls me over. Like, lights flash, and then they pull over, I pull over.
Probably called the cops. This guy's been following us for almost
100%.
30 miles.
I mean, first of all, these people will that dude will never flick another dude off. I know for a fact, because he is scared that because I know they didn't go to their destination. They altered their route due to me because they didn't want to know. They didn't want me to know where they were going. But yeah. And I got pulled over, and then I was like, oh, no, I don't know what you're talking about, because, like, I'm not going to cop to it. And the dude was like, well, it's not illegal. I was like, I mean, irrelevant to whether it's illegal or not, I wasn't doing it. I don't know who this car is. I don't know why they think they're following. Like, I'm following them. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Basically, I played it 100% cool. And then I was like, we ended up over.
Did you feel good about it?
Yeah, I feel great about it. I think about it every day before I go to sleep. At this day and age, I was just playing.
But not like my Gilbert Gottfried Roll 34.
Yeah, 100%. Like,
so I have an experience not like that.
I mean, I've been followed for sure.
So 10 years ago, I was at my when I lived in an apartment off of 287 in Sublet in Arlington.
I used to work at that Chicken
I think I was
Express.
at the gate or something. And like this chick in a Corvette or some red car, I can't remember. Right? I'm like parked at the gate because I didn't want to call because my mom had the only key card to get in, and it was late, and I didn't want to wake her up. So she like opens the gate, and I fucking just haul ass through the apartment. And I guess this chick had a bad day or something, and didn't like that I was speeding or whatever, and just hauled ass right behind me. And I'm like, I don't like this, so I bust a right. I don't park. She busts a right. We do like 3 laps around like the apartment, and I get a glimpse, and I'm like, oh, this is a chick, right? Like, whatever. I'm not worried about her. So I park, and then she parks, and then she walks over to my car, and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing? You don't need to be speeding around here." I was like, "You literally just followed me. Number one, you followed me the entire time I was speeding around here. How does that make sense?" And she was like, "Well, still, you don't need to be doing." I was like, "Also, you're chasing me at night. It's 2 a.m. I could fucking kill you. There's no cameras around."
There are so many incriminating.
And she was like, that was like the conversation changed so fucking quick, bro.
Because of the implications.
I mean, but like I could, right? You know, in this day and age, you never fucking
probably feel good about it.
I think that's one of the reasons why I'm like so passive in like those types of situations, because it's like there's no like somebody cutting me off is a minor convenience. There's no minor convenience like
inconvenience.
Thanks,
that
man.
would my.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, like,
I was going too slow.
Yeah, like it's not a big enough deal to me risk getting angry at the wrong type of person that doesn't feel human emotions and just being like, and now I'm dead because I got angry that somebody cut me off. No, I'd rather be dead because I'm angry about so many other things.
Highways.
Yeah,
but yeah, like some people just need a life lesson. Right? Like I just had to let her know. Like I'm never going to do it, right? I'm not going to kill you, but I could have. And then what?
And I just want the jury to know.
You lost your life over some dumb fucking me speeding through an apartment complex at 2:30 in the morning in the morning where no one's out.
And I just want the jury to know if they could just subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Corvette.
Like, I don't do it as much these days, but when I was younger, when I would like accidentally cut somebody off or do something driving that would make another driver mad enough to like pull around and like say something to me, 9 times out of 10, if it was a dude, I would either blow a kiss at him or just wink at him. And that was enough to like make them uncomfortable and disarm them to be like, what the fuck? And like slow down or something. Like now, if somebody does it, I'm just like, all right, whatever. Like keep it pushing. Did you die? No.
I usually hit them with the.
Yeah. I'm just like, what do you want me to do about it? It happened. Like, the fuck?
Videos of what?
Have y'all ever seen the videos on YouTube where the guy, like, goes up and, like, starts talking shit to a dude, and then he, like, takes his basketball shorts off and he's wearing a G-string?
Oh, yeah.
No, I haven't.
They're fucking hilarious.
Yeah, they'll go to, like, super dangerous neighborhoods like Crenshaw and shit, and like go up to people and like try to fight them.
Dangerous, Nathan?
Then just because Crenshaw has a really high crime rate, Drew.
A really high what?
Crime rate, a lot of gang stuff.
What kind of gangs?
Talked his way out of that one.
I don't know. I don't know too many gangs. I just know that that's a thing. But yeah, they'll go up to
like
dude.
That.
Yeah, like
blow my mind, shit. Bro. Like, eventually, you're gonna catch the wrong person. I've seen those videos.
Yeah, there's a kid from like the Vine days that would go to like shitty like ghetto neighborhoods in like New York and do the same shit where he'd be like, hey yo, y'all want beef? And like his whole bit would he'd open his shirt and pull out literal beef. But there, like I saw several videos where he just got pieced the fuck up.
Or people pull guns on
him.
Yeah.
He was like,
I watched the video earlier and it was a guy that like pretends to be on the phone while he walks through a store and he like, talks shit, right? Like he was on the phone, he was like at Home Depot or something, and he was on the phone, he's like, and now he doesn't even carry a phone anymore. It's literally his fucking hand. So like there is no excuse. But
he's also like, a bigger dude though.
But he talked shit to the wrong motherfucker who was a bigger dude, and he's like, I swear to God, I'll take home his girl right now. And the guy turned around and he's like, what? And he's like, you fucking heard me. And then the guy fucking pulls his hand and puts him in a fucking chokehold, and he's like, it's a prank, it's a prank, it's a prank. The camera's right there. He's like, I don't give a fuck if it's a prank or not, bitch, I'll kill you.
Those are some of my favorite scenes.
For sure.
It's a prank, it's a prank, it's a prank, it's a prank.
Yeah. Like I will say that was one of the worst.
That's in fucking quick.
It's a prank, bro, is like one of the worst like eras of YouTube though.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's what Brett Logan.
Have you seen the
Yeah, I feel like you're gonna say the Chupapi Muñano guy.
Chupapi Muñano.
Have y'all seen the young Hispanic dude that like goes around and he's like, he says like a really dumb joke. He was like, "Oh no, but it's a prank."
Yeah, I've seen it.
That guy is hilarious. It gets me. He does it for so long. It's so funny. It's such a good bit, right? It's such a good bit, and it's a very original bit, right? And I like it a lot.
And
I
it's
enjoy it.
Less liable to get his ass beat.
Honestly, I think that's one of the reasons that I love like Impractical Jokers so much, is because like it's essentially just one big prank on like a random person that like,
and it's also
like for the most part, like occasionally I feel like there is somebody that gets a little wild, but for the most part, Like, it's pretty chill. Like, it's not aggressive. Like, if they say like, occasionally they'll say something, like, kind of racist, but it's usually because they know they're not going to say it. And, like, it's, in the context, it's funny at the time, where it's just...
And they never say it when Joe's around, because Joe's going to do
And
it.
Joe quit, though.
Damn.
Yeah, this next season is going to have, like, different celebrity guests for each episode, so...
And that's when the show will end.
Which one is Joe?
Joe's
ugly one.
the old fat
Looks like
one.
a rat.
They're all ugly.
The
like a
oldest
rat.
one.
He's the one with the.
with-
He's got the 4 dogs.
He's got the big ass eyes, big nose.
I'm just
His
gonna
dogs
Google
are
it,
named
guys.
after
Joe Gatto.
Italian desserts.
Oh,
I like
yeah.
how like we're
one
describing
that has
its
the podcast?
physical features,
No,
and you're
Sal
like
has.
Sal.
giving it life.
Is Sal the one? Here, let me.
Sal has
Yeah,
two.
Sal's
He has one called Hey
You know
Babes
Jeffrey?
with Chris Stefano, and another one
The
called
guy
Taste
who
Buds.
has a red car and likes taking long walks on the
Yeah,
beach.
Sal.
Sundays.
He's on the one where the guy's like Tupperware versus Tupperware.
Yeah.
That's my favorite podcast clip of all time.
Yeah, it's
What were we saying, Drew?
it's Tupperware, babe.
Nothing. We're gonna end it here. Let's get
Yeah.
along.
Great.
I got
I
something
guess
on
no
for
good
you.
one for you.
Yeah.
Did you calculate the 10 minutes that were at the
Yes,
beginning?
I did. This has been episode 16. Funny enough, on 316, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
What?
today.
Let's go.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, my
What?
You
That was
sound
nice.
enthusiastic.
Yeah.
I had a beer.
Woo!
I had another
Can you
beer.
smell what the Rock is cooking?
All right. So yeah, we're gonna end it here.
Thanks so much. We've been SpaceBar.
Yeah. So before we leave, I want to
That-
give all of our visual listeners or visual thinkers that are listeners a little tidbit. Imagine taking a toenail clipper and clamping it on your front tooth. All right, guys. You guys have a good day.
Ugh,
We'll talk to you later.
why?
Bye.
Well, now